Welcome to another edition of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K-Pad Paget, and today I have with me a special guest, the big man himself, Ron Jones. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm happy to be here with you, man, especially at a time like now. The end of the year, the beginning of a year, this time frame period is a very valuable year in our profession, but beyond that, in people's health. Because, all great programs start on Mondays, or at least the beginning of the year, right?
Right, right. Good deal, man. Good deal. So, Ron, tell me a little bit of who you are and what you do.
Okay, cool. So, why the heck anyone should care about what I have to say about health and fitness? I would say it's because, first off, I have an absolute passion for it. My career started initially here as just an amateur bodybuilder, loving the sport of bodybuilding, which is all about physique enhancement, correct?
Mhm.
But to do so, you have to use science. So to be better at what I did, I decided to delve further into the sciences of so. At this point in time, I'm in my college career, too late to change majors. So as a side deal, I pursue my qualifications or certifications as an actual personal trainer. Started off in GNC where I love supplementation, but learned that much of it was actually void or null, not needed if you didn't have the initial understanding of health and excuse me of nutrition,
Right.
diet. So of course, dove further into the diet portion as well. Of course, all these things are still adding to what I love most, which is bodybuilding. And then from there, realizing that the same rules I applied to myself in bodybuilding translated into the lives of others who simply wanted to have health. And like I say all the time, I realized that what I have to sell, the whole world can use.
Hmm.
So let me see how this can fit into everyone's life. And then, of course, from there, started to apply it. Now I've graduated college and I'm a full-time personal trainer, right? So loving life, still doing what I do, but began to now want to broaden my approach or my reach, I should say, and connected with a company that was growing and they needed to have another face that would lend towards the brand. But beyond that, someone who could actually add science because, you have to sell a quality product. And
Right.
then this is where I am now with Heat Extreme. And from there, it's all history in the making, at least.
Okay. Just a little background behind the curtain for everybody listening. I met Ron on the app Clubhouse. He was giving a little talk, and we just connected on Instagram also. Ron, on there you mentioned supplements, and then you mentioned how supplements are just that they supplement whatever you're missing from nutrition. They're not supposed to replace your nutrition. And then you also mentioned bodybuilding and how bodybuilding, a lot of the guys are more mature in the sport. So because black does not crack, can you tell us how old you are?
I'm actually 36. I'm
Okay.
36 years old. I'll be 37 this upcoming year, July,
Okay.
July 25th.
Good deal, man. Ron, I was like, I know I would assume you're older than me, but I don't know. I'm 32, so like I said, black don't crack. You look like me if I was 6 feet, about 7 feet or 7 inches taller, and much
Virtually
more muscle.
twins.
Oh man. So tell me, Ron, you touched on it a little bit, but what made you get into fitness? Go a little deeper into
Yeah, so truthfully, man, I initially had a goal when I was working out. Let's go a little further back than that. Um, Playing basketball, playing sports my whole life. Loving sports, loving what they do for me, and the feelings I get from it, the camaraderie, team play, and everything else. But when I got to college, my freshman year, I broke my ankle, and I was
it.
like, yeah, I need something to do still. This campus is far too big to be walking around on crutches. But I was like, I need something to do. So I decided to still go to the gym. But a friend of mine named Matt Nelson is who escorted me to the weight room section of it. I couldn't play basketball downstairs, but upstairs I could still be active using weights. And he showed me what to do for the first day and then said, hey, we'll be here 3 more days. I'm just like, 4 days? He's like, yeah, 4 days, man, is what it will take to cover all of the body parts. So I began training along with him. And I realized, you know what? I think chicks dig muscles. So, my young man mind, I figure, hey, what else can I do besides enhance my physique? Let me focus on just enhancing my physique. So I said, I'll lift weights because chicks dig muscles. Next thing you know, months go by, and in my head, I'm the man now. Months have gone by, and my first spring break comes, and in my head, everyone can see what I've just developed,
Right.
all these muscles, right? So I'm like, yo, this is a great thing, man. What I'm doing is enhancing my physique. But over time, it began to make more and more sense to me. The idea of kinesiology, body mechanics, the way the body actually moves. It began to read to me much like a reading book reads to many people who speak English. They just look at it and it makes sense to them. The same translatory process happened when it came to fitness, whereby I would look at the body in motion and it just made sense. It just made sense to me. So I delved deeper, and of course, me understanding things more actually helped me out more. So I kept delving into the sciences of it. And like I said earlier, I realized that I was receiving something from this. I wasn't never someone who felt bad, because I tell you the honest truth, was never someone who did not have his health. But I did find out that I was just high on life, the same way I was when I was playing sports. But you know, when you get to college, team sports really don't happen as much. You have intramurals and whatnot, but it's not the same satisfaction of daily pushing yourself as you once did in practice. You know what I mean? Which is a daily grind with your teammates. And then, of course, you had Saturday games, Friday night games. And then, you know, it's a constant process. Well, in college, you don't get the same thing. But I did find, though, that exerting myself on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, it felt the same. And it was giving me that old thing back, the thing that I felt earlier that year when I was a senior in high school. I was getting that same feeling back. So I'm pushing myself. And now I'm professing to the whole world about how great this is and how good you feel. And then beyond that, there's a return. There's a physical return. You can see those who are doing this the most and the most consistent, because it reflects in their physique, right?
Right.
So I'm loving this, but now I'm realizing that, you know what, this is actually the same thing that can help others. So of course, time goes by, but I'm realizing that all the more beyond, you know, rectifying people who have health issues, just for everyday people, it gives you a return. You feel good. And of course, there's a longer science we can actually explore as to what's happening with those feel-good hormones, but it was something that was helping me feel even better and making others, well, who could perhaps benefit from it, feel better as well. So now I'm sharing this with the world. I'm realizing now that there's a full profession for this.
Right.
A full profession. It's called a personal trainer. So let me see if I can make this thing work for me. And then that's why I began to push with it. And then I also found myself feeling like special populations was my forte.
Okay.
Special populations being, in this instance here, pediatric, those under the age of 18, as well as those who are over the age of 50, because those are the ones who most need that feeling, you know?
Right.
So that's why I find myself really hubbing towards those guys with helping them out, you know?
Okay. Cool. Where did you go to school at?
Valdosta State University in
Okay.
South Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. I know where that is. That is. So, when's the last time you competed in a bodybuilding competition?
Year before last. So about three COVID year, 3 years.
Okay.
3 years. And what happens with that is, in bodybuilding, is of an old school mindset where I am, you don't want to just simply keep presenting the same thing.
Right.
This is artistry. You want to enhance your size, symmetry, and proportion. You don't want to just keep presenting the same thing to the judges. And it's going to take time to actually enhance that. People believe that you're just going to keep getting off stage and seeing where you land. No, you've got to really be able to present something new. And where I am now at the national level of competition, it's a lot more competition that's out there, a lot more stringent. It's not just some feel good, some feel good show that you're doing. So the competition is elevated. So as a specific open bodybuilder, the ones who wear just the bodybuilding trunks,
Right.
looks like a bikini.
Right.
We're all the way out there. You know what I mean? And as a super heavyweight, which is someone over 220, we have a lot of mass to present. And it takes time to add mass. This is why, every year I'm instead of trying to add more and more mass to my frame. My last competition, I was at 265. If I stage again in the next year, ideally, I would be around 270, 275. That's about 3 years of work for 7 pounds of muscle, but that's just how it goes.
And how tall are you?
6'3".
Sheesh.
Yeah, some off-season weights around.
How tall was Ronnie Coleman?
Was not super tall at all. He was one of the taller bodybuilders, but he was about 5'10".
Wow.
5'10", off season about 330, but I think he's finished his career staging at around 295.
Okay.
Yeah, so at 6'3", of course, it's going to require a lot more mass to present the larger appearance. So off season 6'3" for me, about 290 this year. So ideally in season, of course, the height would be the same, 6'3", but the weight would hopefully be around that 270 mark.
Okay. And you're competing in the open, right?
Yeah, men's open.
Okay. So quick question. Have you ever seen anybody that is, I don't want to say vertical challenge, but anybody that is not vertically challenged, but have you ever seen anybody your height or close to your height, basically anybody over 6 feet competing in the is it the physique? Which one wears a board trunks?
Board shorts, yeah, those guys actually are typically longer,
Oh, okay.
taller, because it presents more. It's more of an actual, it's more of a purely aesthetic, attainable appearance that they're shooting for.
Mm-hmm.
So they want that long model statuesque appearance out of those guys. So they want the ones who are much longer or lengthier. And of course, on my side of things, they want a little more size to you.
Right.
And it's oftentimes really hard to add thickness and size to such a long frame. The most notable one was probably Arnold Schwarzenegger,
right,
who was around 6'2".
Right.
But that was, we're talking 3-4 decades ago.
Exactly. So why did you choose the field you're in instead of board shorts?
Because they didn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Those board short guys, and then to be truthful, those board short guys, and this isn't known to the world, but board short guys know it, and they'll probably get mad at me for even saying board shorts, but those physique guys, they know there is an actual difference there, in that we oftentimes refer to it as a varsity and junior varsity squad. Not as a pejorative, but only because early in your career, we all had that same appearance.
Right.
But with time served and due diligence, we did reach those ranks. Many would tell you that they don't want to reach those ranks. But if you're doing the same exact thing that we're doing, you're going to, at some point in time, perhaps end up at those ranks. But no, the physique did not actually exist earlier on when bodybuilding was first incepted. And then when I first came into the sport, it wasn't there as well. It came along a few years later, but even so then it was more so. You let the dog outside for me, Lydia? Even so then, it, truth be told, it was kind of helping to increase the pot. When you submit for these shows, you're paying upwards of $100 just for each class you're in. And the more guys who are there, the more the overall ante is increased. Remember this, the reason why the men's open is the very last.
Right.
Everyone's waiting for that freak show. You know?
Right. True that.
Yeah.
So, appreciate that explanation for me, Ron. If you would, please, you tell me what you do.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin here. Continue to watch the video. But first, let me tell you about For the Health of It merchandise. This is it right here. The link is in the bio. Make sure to check us out and show our brand some love. Show For the Health of It some love. Subscribe to us now. Do it. Like the video and continue to come back and watch. And cop some of this merchandise. We're here for the culture and for the health of it. So get it. For the health of it.
You delved into it a little bit. I want to know, what is your why? And if you need me to explain that to you, I can.
My why was always changing. As I said, when I first started, my why was simply trying to peacock for the opposite sex, right? But then over time, of course, that reasoning changed, right?
Right.
And then now at 36, married 11 years with 2 kids, 7 and 9 years old, I think my why at this point is truthfully because they like the idea of daddy. I'm sorry, I had a call go through. I probably should put it on block.
It's all good.
We're good to go still?
Yeah, still good.
Okay, cool. So now I believe my why at this point in my career, my point in my life, is more because I like the idea of being their superhero. You know what I mean? And then truth be told, you can create your own celebrity with your own physique. So the process of pursuing this physique enhancement and trying to be bigger, bigger and more symmetrical and more proportioned, it's just an ongoing art. I don't think you ever stop that art if that's your reasoning. You know what I mean? Right. People paint with watercolor and easel. Mm-hmm. People paint with charcoal and a canvas. People use clay and a spin wheel to create art. Bodybuilding is the same concept. You never get tired of trying to magnify or create the art piece that is your physique. So I don't think you ever discontinue that, I just love the idea of using my body as art,
Cool. Great explanation of that. So going into 2021, what are some goals you have for yourself personally and business side, and then also for your career?
Yeah, well, professionally here, we are Heat Extreme, and I am, of course, a large part of that. So we're always expanding. We're always trying to scale upward, as well as encompass more things. So we will have additional products added to our supplement product line. Of course, our YouTube and podcast channels, all social media channels. We're going to always keep going in depth with those, trying to expand our reach, because, of course, the further we reach, the more the actual business itself will do, or the better it will do, I should say. To include the challenge, which is now, super strong, stronger than ever, which is just a way of incentivizing people to get healthy. And the ultimate challenge is to simply follow healthy guidelines, strict by the book, for a set period of time, 6 weeks, follow what we're saying and give it to yourself, was the idea behind the challenge. And then, of course, we incentivize them to come along and try this process by offering money to those who win. And of course, the top 5 do get 5,000. But the whole point of this was to let you see what we're capable of doing as a training firm. And then that kind of hooks you there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, from a professional standpoint, that's of course what we want to do. Always keep taking the extreme to the next level. Personally here, I don't know if I will stage this upcoming year or not, but I will prepare for the stage irregardless. It's not irregardless, that's a double negative. Regardless, I will still prepare for the stage as my own personal goals. That's never going to change. My whole purpose is to always be better each year than I was the previous year, and to date that has held true. So we'll see if we can keep this ball rolling with that.
All right, sounds good, man. Now this is a side question that just popped up in my head. I didn't preview it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, you already mentioned being something like a superhero to your kids. You ever thought about professional wrestling?
Not quite, man. I'm not really a tough guy like that. We look tough, but we're not really that tough. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody that secret. We just like the presentation of so. But yeah, not quite. But what's funny though? I will tell you this part, and this kind of came to me earlier, so I'm probably premature in trying to roll this out. But I've been mulling over this idea for a while. The misconception of what an alpha is. And of course, everyone can't be the alpha. You have a large pack, but there's only one leader. Perhaps you'll have 4 or 5 contenders for the alpha position, but there's only one. But the misconception of what an alpha is rampant. An alpha is not a bully. An alpha is actually simply the leader, but you're a leader in multiple places. You're a leader because of obviously your physical stature means you're physically capable, you're ready, you're fit to fight. But beyond that, you're someone who's going to lead by way of taking care of the weakest in your pack.
Right.
That's very important. The weakest in your pack must be taken care of because they'll willingly follow behind you. So the most vulnerable in your population should be cared for. In this instance here, it'll perhaps be my children. And of course, they will want to follow behind me. So I have to lead them in that capacity here, to include and mentally being sound. My wife, of course, will want to follow along as well. I'm the alpha leader of my household. But going beyond my household, amongst colleagues and friends and peers, I still have this alpha complex about me, which means I still must be, of course, fit to fight, which is not, of course, when a fist fight, because we're not that primitive at this point, but still physically capable, as well as mentally sound and emotionally intuitive enough to be caring of the weakest amongst you. So helping those people out. Back to ultimate point, it's all contingent upon you having that competitive edge. And when you master your health, you're always giving yourself just that, the competitive edge. You're mentally more acute because in the morning time, you got that good endorphin release, that good dopamine release to your brain. So you're sharper, acute wise. You're physically, of course, improving upon yourself because you are physically exerting yourself with cardio, as well as giving yourself premium fuel to make sure you can still be sustainable throughout the actual day. It's all lending towards what I feel like I would love to always be, which is the alpha. It all must come together. We'll break that down further in some later talks, but I definitely see that as one of my major reasons now, trying to understand myself, becoming introspective for a moment.
Right. Nah, good talk. So we were talking about 2021, and as you previewed earlier, it's the start of the year. So people are trying to get in shape and stay in shape. So what tips do you have for anybody trying to get in shape and stay in shape?
Keep 3 keys in mind. These 3 keys, I always speak in terms of them because everything that should be considered will fall into these 3 keys. The first one is cardio. The second one is strength training. The third one is recovery. Recovery is in 2 parts. That's your nutrition and your sleep. At all points in time, always have a roadmap to effectively and consistently hit those 3. That means you should know beginning of the week what your plan is for your cardio. And then you simply carry it out. Know what your plan is for your strength training, and you simply execute that. And know in advance what you're going to have for your fuel and recovery. And then simply stick to that. Those 3 things encompass all things when it comes to health and fitness, in my humble opinion.
Hey, well, the reason this show is called For the Health of It, it's a bit of a double entendre, and it's not just improper English. So we got
sure.
mindset, movement, nutrition, and recovery. So yeah, you're right there with me, Ron. So yeah, I agree with your humble opinion.
Good, great.
Good deal, good deal. So next thing I want to tackle with you is the 5 components of physical fitness. And which do you believe is the most important? The 5 components of physical fitness are cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, flexibility, and body composition. Which of those 5 do you feel is most important, and why?
Well, you know, it's very interesting because body composition is going to naturally put 2 of those in place. Okay. Muscular endurance as well as cardiovascular. If those 2 aren't in position, leaning back towards my 3 keys, which was cardio and cardio and strength training. If those 2 things aren't in position, body composition will mean nothing. So I'm going to cheat off of those 5 options and definitely go with body composition, because it's going to naturally insinuate that you have mastery over your cardiovascular efficiency as well as your muscular endurance. So my final answer, Regis, will be body composition.
Okay. All right. Now I like that, Ron. I like that, man. Hey, and here's what I like most. For the most part, I've been asking people, and they've been giving me, they'll shoot me one answer, and then they'll say, well, all of them's important. The last 2 people, yourself included, have given me one specific component and why. So I like that. I really do. And then, as you said, there's no wrong answer as long as you can properly defend it with evidence or whatever with scientific evidence, factual.
I believe that.
Yeah, good deal on that, Ron. My next question for you: tell me a little bit about Heat Extreme.
Yeah, well, Heat Extreme is an online training firm, and we basically want to keep everything in-house, which means you don't have to go anywhere. Okay. We're ball hogs. So you come here and everything you need should be here. So between one of our biggest components, which is our Facebook support group, we're talking about 30,000 plus strong who have actively participated or are actively participating in the challenge. We're going to be there for mental support. That's a big part of that. So perhaps finding some like-mindedness amongst this group of 30,000 can be found. Not licking wounds by no means, but definitely, fostering and creating an environment that's conducive to what your personal health and fitness goals are. I'm pretty sure you can find someone similar to yourself in a sea of 30,000 plus strong. Right. So that component is definitely a part of our Heat Extreme company, to include our product supplement line, which is not extremely robust, rightfully so, because we don't want to just throw a bunch of product at you on behalf of financial gain. What we have in position, we truly believe in. From our branched chain amino acids, of course, about muscle recovery, to our actual fat burning, which is the most rudimentary version out there. It's only 5 ingredients, all the way through our collagen, which is very important as well. From someone like myself, who beats his joints up on a regular basis, we know collagen helps to renew your connective tissue, tendons and joints, or tendons and ligaments. But also collagen is one of those products that wears 2 hats. It also serves the purpose of skin and skin regeneration. So to those who are in weight fluctuation, as many of us are, going up or down, it helps with elasticity. Yeah. Not give you a breakdown of our supplements. I'm just saying that of our supplement lineup, it's all there with intention. Right. Not throwing frivolous things out there. That's part of our lineup as well. To include our newest addition that we're super proud of, our baby is called Heat on Demand, which is an archive of all of our programs in one place. It's like a Netflix of fitness. Okay. All of our programs are right there. So everyone can just simply subscribe. We're talking $9.99 a month. and they have access to all the programming that we've ever created and exclusive programs only found on the Heat on Demand platform. You know, you won't see it you won't actually see it in the challenge. So it's just an expansive brand, and anything that can help anyone in their fitness journey, anything that can help someone in their in this life as fitness is concerned, we're here for that. You know what I mean? We just want to make sure it's all here and available to those who may need it. Again, what we sell, everyone can use. Is health. You know, geriatric, pediatric, everyone can use health, man.
Facts. So Ron, before I get you out of here, man, I need you to plug any and all social medias and website.
Absolutely, man. I'm pretty consistent. I'm not sure how this happened, but I am Big Ron Jones across all platforms. So you can find me. You can find me at Big Ron Jones across all social networks. Definitely, Instagram is the best way to reach out to me because I am extremely active and consistent there. But also, my link tree and my bio gives you portals to our Fit Plug Radio podcast. It will portal you to our website, heatextreme.com. That's HETX. There is no E there. That's heatextreme.com. Yeah, like I said, if there's a platform, we're there. The YouTube channel is going to be Heat Extreme, but again, at Big Ron Jones is going to give you a portal to myself and then all things Heat Extreme as well.
Cool. Hey, Ron, hey, I appreciate you doing this such short notice, man. And I appreciate you fighting through those technical difficulties with me.
We're good, man. Glad to have had a chance to speak with you, man. It's always about connecting with others.
Yes.
In this life, man, it's not common to see many of us who who understand the value of owning your health, especially in our demographic. We oftentimes don't spend much time really prioritizing our own health. That's mental and physical. So to have people like yourself and myself making it plain and relatable to those who need it the most, truth be told, I think we actually need it the most. We could definitely use a lot of healing and positive outlet. So I'm always happy to connect with someone else because us as a whole is stronger that way. You know, I really believe that we are as a whole stronger that way, man. We can always feed off of it. Again, our customers, our market is the world. Everyone can use what we're selling. I can't service the whole world, nor can you. So let's both feed off each other to reach as many as we can. We can all eat good, you know?
That's facts. 100%, Ron. Hey, I love it. I can't wait to get you on here again, bro.
Absolutely, man. Let's definitely connect offline after this, all right?
Yes, sir. Hey, this has been another episode of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Paget. Thank you.